Let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go. I'll show you how a country mile can take us all night. Feeling higher than a bull's tail up an old dirt road. I ain't gonna run or hide. We can let the fire burn wild. That's just my countryside.
Hey you guys, good morning. Welcome back to another shenanigan show over here at Aruga. So today we are out here in the garden, and one of my biggest Mother's Day gifts that they could give me is getting this. I used to actually just grow, what did I grow here? So I had it to where I did sunflowers and some pumpkins and squashes and things like that in these two long rows that go the opposite direction of the rest of the garden by this bird bath. So anyways, I want to do chicken fodder. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with chicken fodder or animal fodder in general, but you're able to grow specific crops that your animals would eat, and you're able to produce that on your own from your homestead or farm. So that is what we're doing here. We are removing the sunflower seeds, which are great for the soil because we need a lot of nitrogen. So they put that into the soil. They didn't grow very tall, which is okay, but the grass has just grown in completely around them. So it's kind of overwhelming just to even like look at it. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up all of the sunflowers. We're just going through and clipping them, and then we're gonna till those lightly. I have a no-till garden, and in general, I would not ever till. But because these grasses are so crazy, we're gonna go ahead and do it, and we're gonna till in the rest of those sunflower stalks into the soil so that they can decompose. So typically I wouldn't do it. This time I am doing it. There is a time and place for pretty much everything. So to say like never, I've learned not to say never because just when you say that, you're gonna have to do it. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we're gonna get sorghum planted here. I had seen a video where somebody was doing oats, and I know that I can do like inside oats and it would grow fine. I'm just kind of at the place where I don't want to grow anything inside unless I have to, because I'm coming out of doing seed starting. So to give myself a break, we're gonna go ahead and do sorghum, which apparently is one that can sprout within the heat, and it's great because oats are just kind of one line. This actually has a broad leaf, so you're able to harvest more, and it's one of those that is a cut and come again, which is also a very big bonus. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started, get this converted over, get everything tilled in. We will have to remove or be careful of some drip lines that we have going through there to the entire rest of the garden, and let's get it done. So something else that I wanted to talk about while we're out here, we have a broody hen in here, and she wants it so bad, but she's a new mom. She's never done it before, and so she keeps getting off of her eggs, and we're like, it just kills me because I hate to have to take them, but she just keeps getting off and switching boxes. So we just kind of just keep taking the eggs because I don't even know that she's been on them like all day, and they're probably not even good anymore. So anyhow, she's in here, Mama Holly. We did move Luke into here. I don't know if you guys remember, but a few videos back, we had to take him out from the main flock that he was in. I think the other two roosters caught wind that his eye was blind in one side, and so they just kind of took advantage of that. So anyways, we moved him in here, and then we have 11 other hens in here with him, and he's a really good rooster. So those numbers are not typical for a breeding flock, but because he's such a good rooster, I feel like he can get the job done. And these girls really respect him, and they will just like submit to him just because it's like those kings, you know, like the ones that rule like with an iron fist, and then the ones that rule like with empathy and compassion. That's him. So anyways, we are probably gonna have to take some of the eggs that we have incubating and take her out and put her with those eggs when they get ready to hatch, just to kind of break her from that broodiness, because we've taken her a few nights and put her up on the perches just to kind of maybe reset her. And I have heard people doing the like cold water trick where you can like dunk them in cold water for a few minutes, and that kind of lowers their temperature, because if their temperature is high like it is when they're broody, they won't break it. So you have to dunk them in the cold water, and apparently that breaks it. So anyways, I really want her to have the chance to hatch out eggs, just because, like, I mean, every mom that wants to have a baby, like, I want to offer that opportunity for her. And I don't want her to just not, like, basically get discouraged and then not want to do it again. So anyways, we're probably going to end up doing that just to give her a chance to be a mom and not ruin that within her, because we want to encourage that for our farm. So anyways, just wanted to update you on that. There's Mama Autumn. Hey, Mama. She's so sweet. I love that girl. So change of plans. We are going to end up tarping this area. Okay, so I said I don't like to do the tilling, which I never like to do the tilling, because you're getting rid of a lot of that soil fertility that is within your soil. So I hate to disrupt that, first of all, but this tiller, because we're trying to do it lightly, it's not getting the deeper grass roots, and so a lot of those weeds are not getting removed. So he said we need to move on to plan B, and we're going to tarp this area. And I would say that we're gonna probably have to tarp it for a good 2 weeks before we can plant our sorghum seed in here, to make sure that everything's killed off in there. So anyways, we will go ahead and continue this project, and we'll give you an update in a future video. Okay, so one of our next projects that we're going to be doing is we are going to do a maggot bucket. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's totally disgusting, but Brantley is in the bucket because of his treatment of the hens. So we are going to be using him as a fly attractor, basically, and create this maggot bucket.
So basically all there is to it is obviously a bucket with a lid, but you drill a bunch of holes all throughout so flies can get in and get to the smell. There's holes in the bottom and holes on the sides, whereas the maggots hatch and start to eat and then want to get out, they'll come out and crawl right out these holes and fall on the ground, and it'll be instant protein and fat for the chickens to supplement feeding. So he becomes a source of food that will feed the chickens as the flies come in. You put wood shavings in here to help things break down and to help with absorption of any fluid, which helps with smell. You can only do this in the warm months because you got to have flies for this process to work. So you can't do this in the winter, November, it's not going to work. So we need the flies, and the flies will come. They'll start to smell and they'll come in and lay their eggs, and we start to have a food source.
And if you guys don't know, like, the prices of the larvae when you're buying them in stores is outrageous. So figure we'll cut down on that cost because we haven't been buying the mealworms.
Right.
And we'll do this instead.
Okay. Get over there on this side. Go straight. I'm going to let go because I don't want it straight. Okay. Just tap this one. Tap, 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 tap. Good.
Can I do one?
That's it. I thought there were 3, but there's only 2.
Sweet. There it is.
Mommy raked it over here.
My foot.
Okay.
When we're done working for Mommy, I can't walk on it.
So one of the other things that we're doing today is we're going through, and basically, if you haven't noticed, this is like a Mother's Day special, helping me with all the things that I, in my head, take note of that need done. So we have kind of, not a like dramatic slope, but a slope on our property to where things just kind of slide down that way. So we have to take certain precautions, or just kind of remedy after the fact. So we're doing some moving of this mulch that we have in the chicken run here. As I mentioned, it kind of slides down, and so every once in a while it kind of goes outside of that fence. So we went ahead and raked it, put it back in here, kicked it underneath the fence, and now we're just gonna get some big piles and we're gonna move it, not to make you dizzy, all the way up there because that is the top of the slope. So every so often, I would say maybe once a month, once every couple months, we come out here and just grab all the loose mulch, put it back in, rake it up into a mound, and then bring it up. We're gonna go ahead and get all of this mulch moved.
Hugs, kisses, cheer, gifts, flowers, delight, Mom's Day shine bright, breakfast in bed, pancakes, syrup spread, laughs, love, and fun underneath the sun.
Okay, so I wanted to kind of take a look at his beak. You can see that it's actually growing back in. We weren't sure if that missing part on the top of his beak was going to grow back, but it is growing back. It still had like the meat underneath of the beak, but that top part just kind of cracked off. And it's actually growing back. That's pretty cool. He's doing a good job. He's back to topping the hens. He's got his appetite back. There for a minute, he was like barely eating. And he is getting his groove back. He's a good boy. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a lamb's ear bloom. How gorgeous is that? So pretty. Okay, so we're back on the ugly side of the shed here, but the other project that we're going to work on is getting some of these rocks moved. So this was actually out in our pasture as part of our like pasture prep. So we needed them back behind here on these rain barrels because the erosion, like when things would overflow, it would start decaying that dirt right there. So we're going to take all of the excess that's right through here where they're working. And we're going to take all of that, put it in the wagon, and I may actually put it at the bottom of that slope on the chicken coop to keep some of that mulch from just draining out into the grass area. I may put it on that end to keep that mulch from going out. So we're going to do some of it for that, and then we're going to take the rest of it. You've heard me say before in other videos, down to the butt crack that is along our driveway, where if the water rushes fast enough, it really takes a lot of that dirt with it, and so it's creating erosion in that spot. It's kind of where like the hillside comes in and then the driveway comes down. So we're gonna get that whole line filled in with rocks eventually. So we're just gonna start, and we've actually already started, but we're gonna continue putting rocks into that butt crack. So anyways, we got Peyton that's putting out the little baby chickies into that little mini brooder. We have about 17 chicks in the shed that are gonna go outside for the day. So when it's warm enough, they can go outside even when they're young. I would say at least 70 degrees. And then if it's like super hot and sunny, then I get a blanket and I put it on top of there so they don't get too hot. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue this rock job and get it rolling. Slight upgraded to the wagon because that is just gonna get so heavy. With pushing that wheelbarrow, there's no way. There's the little babies. Look at those babies. They love to get out on the grass. Huh? Do what chickens do. Okay, so we got some projects done. We did the rocks that were by the rain barrels. We did the raking. by the chicken coop. And now we're gonna let these guys out to free range. Chickies! Chickies! Come all the way out. Chickies! Chicanos! Okay, close it up now. Nice. There you go. Here. You guys get to free range now. Yeah. Good chickies. Okay, so we're gonna let them free range for a while, and then we'll eventually put them back into the garden flock, and then we'll let out the pasture flock because they have not been let out today yet. We try to only let them out once the afternoon hits, so after lunchtime, just because then we're not having to like look around for eggs, and we make sure that they're all laying within their coop, and that's typically in the mornings when they are laying. So anyways, Troy actually just got his new riding lawnmower, so we have a riding one now, which is nice. He doesn't have to push it, so he's super excited that it just takes off so much of the work and that like pushing it, especially with the heat here. So that's nice that he has that. We found a friend, we have a friend that he takes the lawnmowers that he finds and fixes them and then sells them. So we were able to get one off of him, which was amazing. And we are going to, I'm not really sure what projects we're going to work on now. The boys are really excited to get some more stuff done. Not so much. So anyways, we're going to kind of take it easy because it is starting to heat up a little bit. Still got like a cool breeze, which is nice. But the sun, when it's out and not behind a cloud, it is hot. So anyways, we may just continue doing a few rocks around the house, around the building, because we do need to get those cleaned up to make sure that we don't break the blade on the mower. Look at that, Mama Autumn. There's Oreo. There's Rhea. Hi, Rhea. There's Dory. There's our Luke. And then over there, they love going on that property line. They love dust bathing over there. And they love getting all the bugs under all the leaves. They're happy.
But, Mommy, this might, take away. Can you wash mine?
Bunch of stuff in there.
Let's go wash my car so I need to take some. Because I only see it on the
Okay, so if you guys have your toilet paper rolls when they're empty, and you guys have your lint from your dryer when you do laundry, or the sheets, make sure that you're reusing these. So I have the boys go through every so often once like underneath the cabinets get full of all these little empties. So I have them go through, and I have like a grocery bag in our laundry room that I just stuff all our lint in. So I have them go through and stuff these with the dryer sheets and the lint, and then we use them as fire starter. So not only outside, but also inside the house. So make sure you're not throwing these out. Hey guys, well, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down here, found a random container. Anybody else find just random stuff? Drop it down in the comments. Like, what do you find around your property, especially with kids? Like, I think this is probably for like bugs maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down, hang out, and enjoy this beautiful weather in the shade. Hubby's out there still mowing, and 2 of the older boys are inside. So we lost those ones. These ones are now venturing on to finding snails and bugs. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next video.